This was a problem that the students were doing in the review sheet for they're preparing for their exam. I have stories, and I did this first story with them, and went through A through K. If they read a scenario, they should be able to get all that information. So we're going to go through the steps here. Okay, the first step that we do is we do our problem statement. And our problem statement is always in the form of a question. So A is our problem statement. Okay, so in this particular little story, Smarty Pants wanted to see if this particular medication, Caligula, would cure people that have that virus. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it in the form of a question. Will taking the Caligula cure people faster? Anything that's reasonable like that, it will be accepted. Okay, we write it in the form of a question. And here we do cause. Okay, this is what we think is going to cause the change. Okay, and I'm trying to make it finer. This is going to be the effect. The effect is, oops. Well, I'm gonna have to erase that. It's cure, sorry. I'm trying to make this as neat as I can. Cure is going to be the effect. Cure. Right? Okay, now we're going to do the hypothesis statement. And the hypothesis statement is basically we take the problem statement and we put it in the form of a statement. So, oops. Hypothesis. Okay, taking the Caligula will cure people faster. Okay. Faster. Will cure people who have kidney virus faster. And then this one here, here, it goes right there. Okay, so again, it's in the form of a question. And again, what is our cause? That medication. What do we think that medication is going to do? Let's see here. So I'm going to use the right ink here. This is our cause. Okay. What is our effect? It's going to cure people. So always written in cause and effect form. Now we have C. And in C, we are trying to figure out what is the dependent variable. Okay, and the dependent variable is what we are going to be measuring. Okay, and in this case, we are going to be measuring based on the little story and what was going on in the story. They were measuring the number, the people that had, how many people had the symptoms. They had the symptoms and they had the disease. Okay, so in this case, they're counting, the dependent variable is what we measure. So we're going to be measuring the number of people with less symptoms, which is basically the ones that got cured. Okay? Now on, and if you look in the hypothesis statement, you can pretty much tell. The second part, if you write it in cause and effect, is always going to be the effect, or what we measure. The first part is always going to be our dependent variable. So the independent variable. So this is independent and this is dependent. Independent is what we change. Dependent is what we measure. So let's go for D, and in D it's the independent, I'm going to abbreviate, variable. Okay. Okay, so independent variable is what we're changing. And in this case, we are changing the medication, whether they have it or not. So independent variable is medication. Oops, sorry. See here. Let's go back over here to recognition. So it's going to be, independent variable is going to be what we changed in the experiment, so it'll be medication. It's given. Okay? So which will be the cootie killer. Okay. I'm going to put it here in parentheses. Okay. The control group is what does not have the independent variable. So in this case, the people here that says here, when we read our little story, it says here, he gave the people 50 people the medication and 50 people the placebo. The placebo is a sugar pill. And when they do experiments dealing with medicine, they'll give people, some people the real medication and some people the placebo. So the placebo is our control group. And that would be in the people in group, placebo is group B. Experimental group F, experimental group, is the one that has the independent variable. So in this case, it will be group A, because they get the cootie killer. G, what is the constant variable? Constant variables are the things that we keep the same, so that we make sure that it's only one variable that is actually causing the people to get better, which is our independent, taking the medication. So the way that he did this, if we read this, he told the constants variables, and all they need to do is give me at least two, is they told both groups, that they were getting same medication. Okay, that's a constant. Same amount of people per group. Okay, good. Alrighty. Right. Those are at least some examples there. So there's much more, but we're just going to keep it kind of basic here. Now H